All right. So, boy, 10 years old, pinned to ground by police in Georgia.
So the background is like there's a family dispute, right? And I think it was a brother and sister who were actually fist fighting. I'm not 100% sure because it was kind of hard to make up the what they were saying. And uh, should we just roll the video? I don't.
I mean, I actually haven't caught what exactly because the background is the guy's getting arrested. I don't know exactly what for. You're saying at fighting. I haven't seen what's exactly clear here. Well, old gentleman getting arrested. His family's outside. They're kind of, letting him know exactly what's going on, what he's being arrested for,
And
and
his son is going crazy. I mean, his son
yeah,
is freaking out.
his son is losing his mind, and he's 10 years old.
I'm going to tell you the charges.
So obviously, if you see your dad getting arrested, you're gonna freak out. I mean, that's a fair response to that. You don't know what's happening. It seems like if I had
It's a
to, if
lot for
I
a 10-year-old boy to handle.
yeah, and if I had to call it, I would think he seems like he may even have like ADHD or something. I mean, he was really hyper as well.
Yeah, that didn't seem like a normal 10-year-old. And now, a given, it's a lot for him to be taken in watching his dad getting
For
arrested
sure,
as well.
for sure, for
So
sure.
I don't know if he's like that all the time. And I would say I feel like family could have been doing a little bit better job of dealing with him, talking to him.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Why is he still out there? I mean, that's my question. I don't understand why a parent wouldn't say, "All right, let's go inside."
Right. And up until what happens later, honestly, like the biggest thing I would say is I can't tell you exactly what I think. I don't know what the police protocol or what the right exact thing to do here is, but I do feel like he was standing outside with this dude a little bit too long with a weird situation where he could have taken him further, or I don't know, something, taken him to the back of the vehicle. It said the dude was arrested, right?
Yeah, that's true too. I don't know why they didn't walk. They could have walked to the front of the cars, off in that direction, and had the conversation. I agree with you on that too.
Yeah, separate things to minimize all this extra chaos.
Yeah, for sure. And there's two officers, so they could have easily done that, and the other officer could have stayed and talked to him. So yeah,
Right.
you're right. I don't know what's going on. Are you gonna move it up a little bit, or did you already do that?
Well, it's actually about right there. So we're gonna
Come
start seeing.
on.
So he's in over here, and he's been running around. And I've muted it, but he's screaming.
Yeah, take it off the mute, please.
Go ahead.
He's running around over here, and this is making him nervous. You can even see by the way he's moving around the camera and stuff that the kids run around and shit like this.
Come on.
Somebody, please come get me out, man.
Don't do it, man.
And I think he's like jumping at the cops right now too.
Yeah, he's screaming like. Yeah, he is screaming like what, and like it looks like he's trying to like hit him or something. He's a 10-year-old. He can't do much damage, but it does look like that's what he's trying to do.
And cops are already afraid. I'm sorry. I think cops are already like a little shook. But there he runs into
Yeah,
him.
he runs and like jumps on him or grabs him. The cops got him right here. You can see top of his hair. Pinned him
So it
against the
looks
car.
like he like went like did a shiver, like a forearm shiver, like he jumped shivered into him or something,
Yeah, something weird like that. Like he jumped in.
or threw his body into him or something.
See,
So now
he's got him though. See, he one arm swinging this kid around. And now he's pinned him down.
well, it looked like, so if I had to guess, it looked like he tried to get him off the car and put him onto the ground, and the kid started like squirming, and so he kind of picked him up, and it did look like he slammed him.
Yeah, this kid squirt like you were saying. Like I don't think they're not paying. I wouldn't doubt this kid is acting in a way where he probably isn't paying too much attention to. You can see he's squirming and jumping around, doing stuff, not listening to when people are saying.
And see, look at this other cop real quick though. Like he's not using excessive force, so that I can't see what the other officers doing. But I just want to point out that the one cop sitting by him isn't like, doesn't have his knee on his neck. He's not doing nothing like.
He's not trying to, like, he's telling him to do stuff to help him, and he's not really like he's not with this. It doesn't seem like, because later when he splits up, he pushes that other cop out of the way. And he's like, "Get out of here!" And he starts talking to him.
Yeah.
Want to stand up? We'll have a
I don't think
conversation,
I think this guy's kind of like the boss, or maybe I think he's the first one, so he's kind of running shit. And this guy eventually is like, I
He
don't.
attacked my officer. Okay. Back up.
So he starts freaking out. The cop starts freaking out at the family now.
Back up. Back up. Back away from my officer and everybody. You want to go to jail?
Yeah, see,
He steps in. He's like, chill, man. All right, enough. And so eventually,
this dude with the body camera is just down to escalate. Is the thing.
the cop that slammed the kid takes him over to talk to his dad, and he's much nicer to him. He kind of maybe he realized that what he did was over the top.
You need to be there.
Well, the kid
You
is.
need to be there for
I'm
your
not
dad,
saying this
okay?
right or
You
anything.
want
He's
something
not
on
doing
video?
that shit no more.
Okay. Come on.
And he did calm down. And so the thing I need to see, and I need to look and see if there's another angle to this video. But the thing, and I'm gonna look right now. The thing I need to know is how did he really slam him on his face like that, or why he did that? Because if the kid was trying to squirm out of his arms and like kick him or try to run, I'm definitely not saying he should have slammed him like that. But what do you do necessarily? Like, what's if you're trying to put a kid down and he's that size, he's got long arms, he's swinging them all around, he's hitting you. You can't slam him, but like I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I just.
I mean, I feel like a lot better way. I feel like there maybe could have been an ultimatum or something delivered earlier, like, hey, if you know your child doesn't kind of chill out, we're just gonna rather than if they're. It seems like they can just arrest this guy already, right? They had all the reasons to. I might have just said you're gonna have to get this information at in a phone call later or something, and we're just gonna leave. I think that would have been honestly a much better way to handle this than. That's the biggest thing that I see. I don't see any reason why they needed to be over there causing all this other stuff because it seemed like this kid was losing his mind. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, he was losing his mind, and it's up to the. I mean, my thing is, look, let's look at the reality, right? They could have shot that little boy.
yeah, of course.
I mean, you know how this country is, man. Like, so the fact that nobody is smart enough to get that kid out of there, I just. It's messed up, man. Like it's just not good parenting. And I mean, what's your take on the cop? So what should happen to him? He's gonna be fired. Is you think they'll keep him around? I mean, he did make an attempt at being the nice guy by taking him over there and taking him over there to talk to his son. But I don't know.
It gets weird when the kid started jumping on him and stuff like that. Because here's the thing: like I get. Common sense tells me that there's an issue with doing that to a 10-year-old.
Right.
That's the biggest thing. But I at the same point, I do sympathize with the notion of well, what do you allow? I mean, there's not where do you write that this is okay and this isn't? I mean, you got someone touching you. You know what I mean?
And add to that their family's not doing anything. See, it's almost like you remember we had that one video.
I'm trying not to put it on them, but I am thinking that. I mean,
well, you remember that video of that kid who started punching that old man, and the old man finally lost it?
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't the same thing, obviously, but it's similar. Like
it's not too far from they're in the same conversation.
If a kid is hitting an adult repeatedly and no one steps in. What are you supposed to do? I don't. And again, I'm not saying he should have slammed this little boy on the ground like it looks like he did. I don't think that's what he should have done either. But I just saying I don't quite know what else he would have done at that point. Because if let's say the kid makes him fall back, what if the kid starts swinging on him? I mean, yeah, he's 10. Yeah, it's not gonna hurt, but like.
But you got to do something about it. What is he gonna do? Just stand there and swing on you? Like, and the other thing too is that kid was running around crazy. And I know people, and he was running around behind them and all this stuff like that. They're already tripping. They're arresting a guy, and people are kind of around them all sorts of places. Right. And I think it's fair to say this. Look, all sorts of weird shit happens. People use kids as lookouts and all sorts of things.
Yeah, they do.
That kid could have gotten if in all those police cars. There's a fucking shotgun that's loaded. You know what I mean? And he's running around back there. He could have been. I don't know, opening the door for his dad and maybe something weird going on that way.
Or what if he would have tried to pull one of their pistols out the holster?
Right.
I mean,
100%.
And like I said, I don't know I just know that, and actually I haven't heard a lot of backlash about this, to be honest with you. I haven't looked, but I haven't seen like a ton of like protest, riot, fire this guy stuff. Maybe I need to look a little deeper. But like I just don't know what the correct answer is here.
This is one that I would say is disturbing as was to watch. It's a lot less No one's dead. It doesn't even really seem like. I don't think this kid's even really hurt.
Well, and then at the end, like I said, the cop did calm down a lot. Like I think he realized, okay, I stepped over the line or something. In my opinion, I don't know what you thought about that, but what did you think
I
about
think it
it?
was
Like,
more of he could have done more to avoid that situation.
yeah,
I think, and I think at the same time, I think at the big, I don't want to put it all on the family, but like you're pointing out too, like I don't know, I don't think they did everything they could have either, and some responsibility is on you as a parent, So
yeah, no, I mean for sure. And then like we said in the beginning, the cops could have separated the group, take the guy to the other side of the cop cars, out of sight, have a
yeah, some
conversation
basic
there.
conflict resolution, crisis intervention shit.
Like this is the basics, guys.
Well, I
But see,
mean, you try.
they don't practice that, man. They don't teach these guys that stuff, man. They don't. It's so hard to find cops as it is. Once they get done with the academy, man, you get on the field. Or if they do teach it to them after after they've been doing it a while, maybe they don't go back and train them on it again. But
I think
yeah,
it's also just not part of the culture. I think that's even bigger thing. You don't see anybody else doing that. They're all out there together, and how often are let's practice conflict resolution. You know what I mean?
and you made a phenomenal point. Like at the end of the day, it's a bunch of people around them, and they get scared, man. I mean, you gotta. It's so tough because you got to toe the line. You don't want to seem like you're supporting the police, and I don't support or not support the police. I'm actually kind of indifferent as long as they're not behind me. But I just feel like in a situation like this, we all got to start to help each other. And luckily, nobody got killed, but grab your kid, take him in the house, be smart. Like de-escalate the situation. Because the police aren't always going to de-escalate. I've been in a lot of situations where cops escalate the situation. They make it worse than it has to be. And so always as a citizen, you got to be like, all right, these people have guns and they can kill me and it won't matter. So
Right,
I got to chill.
they do it all the time.
Right. So you got to bring yourself down and be calm and be like, look, I'm gonna be cool. I'm gonna talk cool no matter what they do. I remember having to tell myself stuff like that. Like it's important that you remember that. That's what I'm gonna teach my kids. Like you gotta just be chill. Like no matter what happens, be the cooler person. Do not let them get to you. So.
Well, it looks like this is the type of. If you're saying it was a family fight before this, it's like it looks like the same. He's learning the same behavior that like is getting his dad in a similar situation, which is really sad to see. And the only thing he responded to, I mean,
was violence.
Yeah, so it's probably the only thing he ever usually responds to. That's probably how he communicates.
Yeah. Well, think about it. I mean, you made the point very clearly. This is not how a 10-year-old kid normally acts. I mean, and like you said, it's a lot to take in. It is a ton to take in. But even so, I would think the normal 10-year-old would probably be off to the side, like crying or scared.
Right.
You know what I mean? They would be like near an adult, like not saying nothing or just or crying. But yeah, that's not the prototypical behavior. So, and then if you look at it, man, this is Athens, Georgia. Like I ain't trying to disrespect nobody's state, but this some country stuff right here too, man.
Yeah, I was about to say it looks country. They look like they're like when you were saying they're kind of freaked out there, and it's like, well, yeah, everybody's running around. It looks like there's two of them, and they look like pretty far from any.
Look, he's even fighting with the adult right there.
Right, and it doesn't look like that's abnormal.
Right. But she's very calm. It's not like
she's just like cut it out and get out of here.
Yeah. All right, brother.
Yeah, I'm off this one. This is depressing.